Hi guys, JLA Shorts has now arrived. The best bits of the JLA channel in nugget form. Be a legend and subscribe to the channel by checking the link in the description. Cheers. Hello friends and welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. We are going to be talking about Christian Eriksen. You hit 150k and you think you can celebrate that, but no. Brought back down to earth, and we've got to talk about Brentford and a player who would be the biggest, most high-profile signing that they have ever made. And some people suggest that it's something that's very unlike them. That's what we're going to dive into. We're going to talk about if he actually even improves the team, would he suit the style of play as well? And is the gamble worth it? That's what we're going to dive into in this video. Before I get into it, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to you guys for hitting the subscribe button and getting me to 150k. I'm going to do a Q&A, I think, or something to celebrate 150k. But we don't want to stop here. My birthday is on April the 28th. We set a target last year to get to 100k. I would love to get to 200k by my birthday, and I'm going to need your help to do it. So if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing. If you're not new and you watch every week, just have a quick look, make sure you have subscribed, and let's see if we could get to that mad number, because it honestly would just blow my mind. So first of all, we've just got to highlight the fact that Brentford could well sign Christian Eriksen. That is a madness. And Brentford fans, I think you just got to continue to enjoy it. Is this a smart move, though? Let's first look at how he could improve the team. Now, we spoke about this in the one transfer for every Premier League team, and it was very clear where Brentford needed to sort themselves out. Brentford need more chance creation in midfield. Ivan Toney at the moment, he's just not where he should be. He should be in the box. He should be that advanced forward more so than that deep lying forward that he's playing at the moment. He's just flicking the ball on for Mbuemo to miss chances, and I'm sick of it. So getting a midfielder with that bit of creativity, then Brentford can go back to playing good football instead of this direct stuff. Yeah, so of course you can go and check out that video if you want to, but the big thing was the fact that they weren't creating a lot. In the team, up until now, Mathias Jensen has created the most chances for Brentford in terms of shot creating actions per 90. 3.69 shot creating actions per 90, which sounds pretty good initially. It sounds very good. However, if you have a look at it a little bit deeper, you see that 16 of those 31 shot creating actions have come from set pieces. So open play is a massive, massive problem for Brentford. Look, they've had an amazing season, and I don't think this transfer even truly gets contemplated unless they're in the position they are, where it looks like they're pretty much safe, dare I say it. But still, there's a positive play to be had here, and that's why they're even looking at Christian Eriksen. So would Christian Eriksen offer up that improvement in open play creation? Well, look, of course, he would offer fantastic elements from set plays. He's always been very good at that. But the concern that people might have is the fact that he didn't register a single Serie A assist last season. From 15.4 90s played, that feels like it would be a problem. But if you have a little deeper look, and yes, it was Inter Milan who are frighteningly good and were frighteningly good last year, his shot creations per 90 were still healthy, 3.31 per 90, and 1.95 of those were from open play. Now, prime Eriksson is fully capable of creating over 4 shot creating actions per 90. But last season, in the games that he played, the reason why he wasn't getting the assists that we would expect from someone like Eriksson at Inter Milan, despite them being as dominant as they were in Serie A, was the fact that he was playing a different role at times. Sometimes he was a little bit higher up in the midfield three, but there's a few games here, I think Parma was certainly one of them, where look, he's playing in that 3 with Christian Eriksen and Brozovic and Barella. But Barella was always that kind of box-to-box player. And what you saw then was that the focus really, a lot of the time, was not on Eriksen to bomb forward, but for the fullbacks and for the strikers to really sort of highlight the goals for and creation for Inter Milan last year. You know, you had these two players here. You got Hakimi flying down that right-hand side as well. Perisic, of course, as well, we know will be getting forward and maybe crossing in from deep. So he's a lot more of a sort of facilitator for Inter Milan last year, working alongside Brozovic a lot of the time. This isn't the only game. There's even games, actually, I think Sassuolo he played. And in the game against Sassuolo, he actually played as a deep-lying midfielder in this game. Again, we can show you the average positions there. There you go, number 24, slap bang in the middle of it all. and just dictating the game from a different point of view. So it was a different kind of Christian Eriksen that we were used to seeing. Instead of being the crown jewel of the team, there were other more important parts. So moving forward again, we have a look at Brentford and how they've been playing with a 3-5-2. Does this team and how they're set up suit the style of Christian Eriksen? So in terms of like on the ball, keeping the ball, no. But in terms of the formation and how there could be that change, because what we know from Brentford in previous seasons is that, yes, they sort of became a bit sort of more hardened in terms of their game management, but they're always a team that wanted to play football and play really good football. This season, they haven't really done that. They've been incredibly direct, and the results have proven that that was the right course of action. But what Christian Eriksen could provide is a lot of fun for Brentford, because he does suit the team. Christian Eriksen's heat map for Inter Milan last year is really interesting, because if you think about how Brentford are going to play 3-5-2, Inter Milan 3-5-2, what's so great about this signing, if they're able to pull it off, is you've got someone who really, if we're honest, probably wants to play in this position. Hang on, let me just change the colour for you. Let's get what should we go for? Let's go for a lovely little white, just to make it a bit more obvious. He wants to play in this area, if we're honest, deep down. But what he was willing to do for Inter Milan last year was to be a facilitator, a recycler of possession, but it was for a team that kept the ball. You can see these hot spots here, here, and here. And those areas on the pitch are areas that Brentford don't really utilise at this moment in time. That the idea is to be very vertical, and the midfield three are midfielders who kind of just generally work for the team. I think what will happen here for Christian Eriksen, if he's able to go to Brentford, is you've got two great options with him. The fact that he's willing to do those kind of jobs for the team and he's capable of doing those jobs, but also the fact is he's dropping down to a team that's a mid-table team in a league. So he could play that role, but he could also be that more attacking option as well. Another thing that we spoke about, another video that we've done on the channel, one player that will dominate every team in the Premier League, we spoke about Ivan Toney. And we spoke about the fact that he needs to get closer to the goal. So it would be quite a strong shift in terms of style if you bring in Christian Eriksen and make him the kind of the fulcrum of the side higher up the pitch. Of course, you've got to find a way of getting the ball to him. But the midfield three then becomes a lot more interesting. It allows maybe a bit more kind of resistance in terms of just getting the ball to Toney. Actually, you start to put a player in between the two, and it allows Ivan Toney to get higher up the pitch and allows him to start to be more of a threat in the penalty box. If Eriksson comes, he becomes a kingpin for Brentford, surely. In terms of what he's done in the game, his standing in the game, and the quality that he still should be able to offer, health all being well, it's just next level for Brentford. So he has to become a kingpin for the team. So if this is the game against Southampton, essentially, and the great thing about this is that, and this is harsh on Shandon Baptiste, but he takes that spot. Nothing else truly has to change. You might have a bit more security in terms of playing, having a double pivot, Norgard and Vitaly Janelt, but also you got Onyeka as well to come back into the starting lineup, who could be that player that could facilitate and do some of the defensive work as well, with the energy that both of those provide and the physicality that's been so fruitful for Brentford. But Christian Norgard's got that quality, and then you've got someone like Christian Eriksen who could start to work in this area. Ivan Toney then is able to get higher up the pitch, and you've got three players in attacking positions on counter-attacks instead of just the two of Ivan Toney with a flick on and Mbeumo trying to get in behind. The final question is a bit more of a moral question, maybe, the sort of gamble reward to ratio with this one. From Brentford's point of view, there's a real opportunity here. This is a player that, if he had continued to play for Inter Milan, had a decent Euros, and the cardiac arrest hadn't been something that had happened to him, it would be someone that would be vying to play for certainly the top 4, possibly the top 7, 8, if you're being harsh, teams in the Premier League. And so this is unbelievable sort of Moneyball tactics, but quite a unique one, a different play, I guess. Yes, you've got those links with Denmark as well, which helps all of this. The big thing is the fear that he would collapse again. But I guess the difficult thing is if a pacemaker is put in place, and of course the Italian medical authorities have said that, look, you can't play in elite sport anymore. But there is a very tricky moral decision for I guess, fans to feel, but more importantly, it's about responsibility. Is everything in place for Premier League sides when they are playing football to make sure that if something was to happen to Christian Eriksen, that he would be fine? You would really, really hope so. And if there isn't, that's an absolute disgrace in itself. Because yes, it's Christian Eriksen, or it has been Christian Eriksen, but no one had... all these are incredibly shocking things, aren't they? So that has to be in place for anyone playing any professional football, and to be honest, at any grassroots game as well. We should be looking to make sure that everyone's as safe as possible. But it comes down to a personal decision. You know, he wants to continue to play. He's been training and keeping him, according to reports, and keeping himself in really good nick. So it would be about match fitness as opposed to any true elements of fitness. And that's the point of the pacemaker itself, to allow him to lead that normal life. So it's one where I think you have to respect his decision. You have to be transparent with him, and you need to continue to check in on him, both, you know, from a health point of view and a mental state as well, that he's not kind of being deluded. But ultimately, it becomes down to a clinical, calculated risk that he is willing to take. Back to the kind of finances of it. Look, I don't think Brentford would be wanting to pay too much, but in terms of this being a lovely, joyous transfer for Brentford to enjoy, Brentford fans to enjoy, as they have this lovely first tour of the Premier League, this is perfect. You know, 6 months on a contract that works for everyone, and it puts him in the shop window. That allows him to get his career back on track, which is a wonderful story that I think every football fan would like to see when it comes to Christian Eriksen. So it's madness, but it works. It really, really does work. And look, I'm sure if Brentford are brave enough to make that move, you might see some other suitors come in, and it might be one where it doesn't work for him. But I think this is a great one for 6 months for him to go to Brentford, a well-run, well-coached club, be an important part, be in the shop window, and for he and Brentford alike to enjoy 6 months of football back in the Premier League for Christian Eriksen. Amazing, amazing story. But let me know what you think. Morally, there might be people here who know a little bit more about this than me in terms of the sort of health ramifications, and if really it should be just one where you go, I'm sorry, Christian, you can't be playing elite football anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, as I said, hit the subscribe button and the like button as well to give this video a chance. Make sure you check out all the other great videos on the channel. Yeah, I think they're great. I'll see you next time.